What's up, guys? It's DMB Universe. This is going to be the episode 100 of Death Battle. This has been a long time coming, and I've been a fan of this series for over 100 episodes now. Man, I now feel old again. Great. And not to mention, this is a rematch of an old battle that they had back in Season 1. Mario versus Sonic. Now, while this is not Goku versus Superman Part 3, which I hope to God never happens, this is one of the top 5 most, known matchups known to mankind, so I can see how they want to do another type of rematch, but also not have to redo, Goku vs. Superman, because I think they made their point 100% clear on that one. So this one, we're going to get another redefinement of what they were going to do, because in the old days, they had their own rules, and now they got the new rules, and we're going to see how that's going to play in. Not to mention, I've seen the sneak peek, and I know of the specialty in this episode, and that we're going to get to see Wiz and Boomstick animated for the first time, and we're going to see this Death Battle be animated too, so, in 2D. So, I'm excited as all hell, because I didn't expect another 2D related death battle since, Afro versus Jack. So I'm happy about this one. So let's get started. If you want to know who I think will win, I'm rooting for Sonic. But since this is a whole new rules, I need to see exactly what the new rules are. And since it's not like a remake like Samus versus Boba Fett, it might actually have a different outcome. So we're going to see if Sonic's speed is still going to be able to trump whatever these new rules are. 3, 2, 1, now.
Check out 23andMe, a DNA testing service that can offer insight into your ancestry, health, wellness, and traits. The 23andMe Health and Ancestry service includes reports on how your DNA can influence your weight, sleep quality, sense of taste, and more. It's super easy to do. You just spit into the tube and mail it back to their lab to be analyzed. I learned a lot about my family tree, and I'm probably a little lactose intolerant.
There's a thing going on in the political spectrum about something like this with a certain person, but, I'm not a political kind of guy, so I'm not going to get into that. But just know, this is odd for me to hear about that story and then see them promoting something like this. It's odd. So I thought I might as well point it out.
Their rivalry is legendary. Their fame, unmatched. This battle has gone on for nearly 3 decades, but today, it finally comes to an end.
Again. I like how you're not going to say again, because you've done this before, but hey.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega's specialist of speed.
Time to find out if Sega really does what Nintendo don't.
Really? You did that?
Using the same rules Death Battle has had for the past 3 years. Most importantly, the original video games will be our primary source for analysis.
Right. So no movies and no Archie.
Weapons, armor, and skills.
Lucky Mario, because we all know Archie's pretty broken. I'm not saying Mario has no chance against an Archie Sonic. Just say it's going to be a lot harder than the game Sonic.
But he always does so as a hero.
Except for that time he tortured an animal. No one really talks about that.
I don't know why.
One of the 7 star children possessing an extraordinary amount of power.
And extra horrible crying.
Is that why Waluigi's not in Smash? Because he's not one of the star children?
Then him and his little
like Wario is.
Wound up in New Donk City, where he spent his days throwing shit at monkeys and, fixing toilets. Not exactly the great destiny I was expecting, but hey, at least his girlfriend was smoking.
But everything changed after
when the Fire Nation attacked.
Princess Peach Toadstool.
Hello.
The Mushroom Kingdom had been conquered by Bowser, the tyrannical king of the Koopas.
Name is Mario. However, this conflicts if you claim that Mario had no surname. I prefer Mario because that's hilarious.
He's super tough, super quick, and really, really strong. He can jump several times his own height, smash tanks to bits with his butt, and toss Bowser around as if he's a featherweight.
So long.
Needless to say, the Mushroom Kingdom.
Low-hanging fruit.
So was the princess. She even gave Mario a piece of her cake. If you know.
Low-hanging fruit.
It's an actual cake.
Yeah.
That's good too, I guess.
And if his strength doesn't cut it, Mario has plenty of extra weapons and powers on hand.
He can already shatter brick with his bare fists, but when he needs the power to break down the toughest walls, he busts out the Ultra Hammer. Sounds like a wrestling move Lou Albano would have used back in the day.
I can see it.
Rest in peace, Kevin.
Forged by 2 master blacksmiths, the Ultra Hammer, combined with Mario's mighty swing, can break through practically any material.
And he's got a ton of
have a
awesome
specific
powers,
material that it
like
can't do.
Spicy fire flower.
Actually, while Mario used to need this flower, he has since learned how to use pyrokinesis without it.
Well, the ice flower lets him freeze.
Smash
enemies,
really,
the lucky bell turns him
Smash
into
really
a
incorporates
cat,
this.
And the super mushroom gives him a power boost and increases his size. I bet the princess likes that one.
With his frog suit, his swimming ability increases dramatically. With the double cherry, he can create clones of himself with no power decrease. With the stopwatch, he can freeze time. With the
What?
feather or the wing cap, he
Okay.
can soar to new heights. And with the Starman or Rainbow Star, he
Look, I
has
only know of one
totally
ultimate
invincible.
badass that can freeze time, and I don't really appreciate anyone else taking his thunder.
Has to work another day in his life, cause he's got an infinite supply of money, made of people.
While he
Yeah,
can carry several
that's
power-ups at
yeah, I
once,
always thought that was
Mario
that
doesn't
power
always
up was
need
like
to
both.
prove his potential.
He's quick enough
Just
to
broken.
maneuver when transformed into a bolt of lightning,
Nah.
and skilled enough to pilot the
that's the
Star
travel
Diver
between
as it
neighborhood and
rockets
country.
through the atmosphere.
Yeah,
He's so
alright,
freaking
through
manly,
complex
he took an
paths.
explosion to the face that wrecked an entire castle. And even better, he was standing in the middle of this.
Based on a scale
All right.
of Discord's measurements, we can determine the blast of this fireball covered a radius of over 2,000 feet.
What?
To reach this distance, the blast must have had an explosive yield of over 2.4 megatons.
Jesus.
What you're saying
Okay.
is Mario could totally play tennis with a nuclear warhead for a ball
about the can.
and be totally fine.
Probably. Also, he can throw a baseball so fast it overloaded this speed gun.
Oh,
implying
wow.
It was launched over 999 miles per hour. In
Jesus.
the Mario World cartoon, he hurled a dinosaur out of orbit.
But it's the
Similar
cartoon.
creature is of similar size and weight to a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
This I thought you said you were only going to do the game. But why are you doing a cartoon?
5 tons of TNT.
Wait, Wiz, I thought you said we're only using the games.
Any official material counts so long as it's supported by the games. Otherwise, we'd be ignoring a huge majority of the character's history. Take a look at this.
Okay, sure.
It's actually made up of solid gold. Gold is ridiculously heavy. While 1 cubic foot of iron weighs 491 pounds, a cubic foot of gold is over 1,200 pounds. Luckily, a chain chomp is a perfect sphere, so we can compare it to Mario's height to find that it weighs nearly 6,000 tons.
Okay.
Did he just leave it in that hole? Cash it in, Mario! That thing's worth $366 billion!
That's actually correct.
Good job,
Yeah,
Boom
that's
Sticky,
bad.
when it comes to money.
You always wanted my gold, told me.
This isn't even Mario's most impressive feat. At one point, he lifted an entire fortress and punted it through the air.
He does
See-
the same thing in the manga, and it's pretty on par with the strength he's shown against Bowser.
It's
who
like, okay.
survived collapsing castles multiple times.
Since this presentation,
They're both
makes
we're both
the
relative to
size
each other, so
difficult
this
to
makes
determine,
sense. Even though
we
this
measured
is
the
like,
entire
are you
interior
kidding
based on
me?
maps from the game.
This is
By
like broken
scaling
levels of
these
strength.
measurements to the castle's smaller avatar, and conservatively assuming a limestone composition, we've determined the castle must weigh more than 61 million tons.
Are you kidding
Just
me?
kicked it away like it was a freaking soccer ball.
Given the distance it was kicked,
Click.
Mario must have exerted a force of around 3.5 megatons of TNT. Do
Are
you
you
realize what this means?
kidding me?
Mario's foot is 231 times more powerful than the atomic bomb that dropped on Hiroshima.
Now seems like
Video
it's time
games.
for a beer. Or 12.
Honestly,
All of
Mario's
them, all the
absurd
beers.
strength shouldn't be as surprising as you'd think. While he's fairly naive and not much of a strategist, he's saved the Mushroom Kingdom from Bowser's clawed grip time and time again. And
Uh-huh.
the Koopa King is tough enough to survive a dip in the sun, or even a black hole.
Yeah, this dude's pretty
Underestimate
broken himself.
Nintendo's powerful plumber.
Yeah, okay. They didn't really mention any of those things. They really bring up the updated like other games.
Humans
So let's see
coexist
what
with
Sonic can do.
anthropomorphic animals. But this world has been assailed
Oh.
over and over by the vile Dr. Ivo Robotnik, otherwise known as Eggman.
Even though Iroh Robotnik
He's
sounds way better.
alias when he's already got a name as cool sounding as Robotnik.
But hope persisted. Whenever the Eggman hatched a scheme, one did not have to wait long for a certain blue streak to speed by. This
I seen the Sonic
the
preview and I thought that was like, yeah,
The fastest
not bad incorporating that. I miss that show.
Superhuman physique overall, speed is his speciality. In fact, superhuman speed is a natural trait for the anthropomorphic hedgehog, though Sonic's abilities are far superior to his kin.
Wait a minute, all hedgehogs have
Yeah.
super speed? That doesn't
Apparently.
Well, real hedgehogs are also nocturnal, not blue, and when they try to make friends with foxes, they get eaten. So I don't think Sega cares.
Alright then, To stop Eggman from
That's both
turning
sad and
his
funny at the same time.
into batteries, Sonic cranked up that speed and weaponized it. He can crush his enemies with the spin attack, strike multiple times with the homing attack, go 0 to Sonic Boom instantly with the super peel out, and plow through hordes of badniks with the spin dash. Holy crap! I think this guy would just like vomit all the time.
He's also used a number of
Yeah,
power-ups throughout
he has
his
a very
adventures,
powerful stomach.
including elemental
But
shields. The
you
Aqua
need to
Shield
know
is especially useful
what
because
his
it
power
gives him
output
incredibly
is.
high bouncing jump and protection against his greatest nemesis.
Robotnik?
No, water.
Seriously, Sonic, buddy, learn to swim already and save our ears from that nightmare music.
Oh, Jesus. Well, since they're using like other games, he can use the boost to like run up the water, so that's good.
A black hole, a bunch of stuff, really. Even a demonic hungry hippo.
But before we go further, there is something vital which we need to discuss. It's time to figure out Sonic's speed.
Oh boy,
here we go.
While he
here we go.
He is faster than light, Sonic has yet to prove this in canon without the aid of additional equipment or power-ups.
Oh yeah, like when he connects to a trail of rings. But
Let's just say if you start moving faster than light, you start breaking things you're trying to protect. So
I'm out of here.
The highest official description
All
of
right.
Sonic's speed labels him as hypersonic, or somewhere between
Hypersonic.
Mach 5 and Mach 10. This actually
Really?
isn't too
All right.
far-fetched. The game's Sonic Unleashed records his speed, and he can reach a maximum around 3,500 SP.
speed.
Sonic, he's got an STD. Sonic, it burns when he pees.
Assuming SPD translates to metric meters, given the game's Japanese development, that puts Sonic's
All
top
right.
speed over 7,872 miles per hour. Over 10 times the speed of sound, and just over the official hypersonic description.
So, is that it?
Well, it's
Yeah.
possible, no, likely, that he's faster. In TV
Yeah,
shows
definitely
and
likely.
games, Sonic has dodged meteors, did this with a 10,000 frame per second camera, and even lightning, all of which implies that he can move and react around 200 to 300 times the speed of sound.
How
See,
about
definitely
that
way
one
faster
time
than
he went up to a
10.
giant wisp? He said that thing's almost as fast as him, even without its laser mode.
That's right. The laser is a power it grants Sonic, not itself. Still, wisps are incredibly fast. At one point, a group of them flew from Earth's surface to a black hole in orbit in the 20 seconds Sonic and Tails were talking. By measuring the planet's curve here, we can find that the Wisp aliens must have been moving around Mach 200. As Sonic is faster than them, this supports his cartoon feats.
Why isn't that black hole sucking up the Earth? That's what they do,
Yeah,
right?
It's more
yeah,
like
it's a weird
black
black hole.
fueled by hyper-go-on energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely
I know
different.
better. I swear you just made those words up.
Its presence near Sonic does emulate that of a singularity, and Sonic actually outran its pull for 30 seconds. Due to chaotic accretion,
Which is impressive.
black holes pull non-orbiting mass inward at 30% the speed of light. Sonic's clearly pushing his running speed to its limit here, or else the black hole wouldn't have pulled him in. With this in mind, it's entirely possible that, without additional support, Sonic's maximum possible running speed must be around 200 million miles per hour.
That's insane! The fastest man-made object in real life was the New Horizons space probe, which took off at more than 36,000 miles per hour.
It took 9 years for this probe to reach Pluto, but with Sonic's speed, he could make this same trip to Pluto in less than 24 hours.
While we're tracking speed, I've always wondered...
Yeah,
how
if you could run
fast
through
I can
space.
chug a beer. Start the clock, Wiz!
Are you gonna start?
I'm already done.
What?
Moving on, even with this unbelievable speed, Sonic has far more power hidden up his sleeves.
He doesn't wear a shirt.
He can achieve the form of
Yeah.
Supersonic.
Now-
by
now
absorbing
Supersonic.
an
Now, how
enormous
fast do you
amount
think
of energy
Supersonic
from
can
the
go?
7 legendary Chaos Emeralds. In this mode, he can teleport large objects, survive planet-level explosions, launch energy attacks, and fly near the speed of light.
But guess what? This
Almost
isn't
the
even
speed of
his
light, it
final
says.
form.
Okay.
After the Emeralds received a boost from the Master Emerald, Sonic could achieve
Requires
his
specific
ultimate
sense, not
state of
typically
being.
is
Hypersonic.
Okay.
He's got all the
Hypersonic.
abilities of supersonic, plus total invincibility, and a
Parts nearly
hyper
invulnerable
blast
and
that insta-kills
nearly light.
everything
He's
around.
almost light and nearly light speed.
Faster than light now.
All supersonic, totally invincible, faster than light. All right, I was reading the wrong thing.
Without a steady supply of rings, these superforms can't even stick around for a full minute.
Sonic has resisted mind control from the Overmind, survived re-entry from orbit, and blasted apart a mountain.
In his base
This
form.
would need more than 200 tons of TNT to pull off. And while fighting his evil RoboCopy Metal Sonic, they shattered this enormous stalactite. Holy shit, just look at the size of it!
By comparing it to the buildings in this city and applying the density of granite, the most common rock in continental crust, we found that this stalactite must weigh almost 47 million tons. Which means a break
Impressive
like this would need a force of almost
I don't remember if that's
200
just as
tons
impressive
of
of what Mario been through, but I'm gonna say
He's got
no.
what it takes to save the world from a madman scientist, even if he is kind of a dick.
Well, Sonic may be
Yeah.
a bit arrogant, and he's certainly a thrill seeker, but at his best, he's the definition of honest and heroic. He's used his powers to defeat Eggman time and time again, even against gigantic death machines and cataclysmic events.
Those cute and
And
cuddly
gods.
forest critters
Don't
can
forget
rap
gods.
easy when Sonic's gotta go fast.
I'll show you how outclassed you really are.
I'm in a class all my own. Time to put up or shut up, Infinite.
I like how they bring up some Sonic Forces stuff, but they didn't bring up anything that he's done in Sonic Forces. Granted, I don't think there's anything of note. He may have beaten Infinite, and Infinite has like reality warping capabilities, but he didn't really do anything that impressive. Alright, as much as I do like the animation part, it's still an advertisement, and I'm still gonna skip it.
Hello? That's a mine.
Find your slippers, pal.
I do find it kind of like, are you serious? You're gonna try to fight and kill each other over a chair, over a chair. I don't think. All right. Let's see what goes on. From what it looks like, Mario has a better durability feed. So I'm not sure. I don't remember much about the power output, but there's definitely a problem here.
Come here.
I'm loving this animation, by the way. It's really, really colorful. Great, awesome. All right.
Break.
That right there. That right. Oh, come on. All right.
Now I'll show you.
Oh, he's going straight to hyper.
Let's go.
Oh, what? We're really having some Dragon Ball Z here? Alright. Okay, I have a slight problem with this. Alright.
Oh shoot.
Oh, mamma mia.
Hey, at least both of you seem to be able to survive re-entry, so you're good. Oh. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he won.
Woohoo! I'm the winner.
I get to sit the chair.
Whoa! How did that happen? I know Nintendo won the console wars, but I really seem to remember Sonic having this one in the bag.
I'm sure Sonic could have won in specific circumstances, but more times than
Definitely.
not, Mario takes the victory. Keep in mind this analysis.
So you're saying this is a
closely tied media.
6 times out of
Excluding
10, huh?
Contrary sources like the Archie comics or the Mario
Archie
Brothers,
comic version,
where
and then
Mario and
there's
Sonic are essentially
configuration,
entirely
but
different
his
characters from their
abilities
game
are to the game.
counterparts.
Sonic
games
had
are too
speed
different
in
to
the
consider
bag,
single entity.
obviously,
Right,
but
alright.
Mario was way too tough for him.
Their top strength feats paint this picture very, very clearly.
But I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
What
alright.
good is Mario's strength if he couldn't even hit the blue blur?
Travel back in
He's
time to
way
start
too fast,
fighting
right?
requires a second
Yes and
individual
no.
to perform
While
that
Mario
technique.
obviously
Okay.
couldn't match Sonic's relativistic
Yeah,
top
assume
running
Sonic
speed,
bases.
he's moved efficiently as a bolt of electricity and piloted the Star Diver.
it's the
Based
same
on our
standard
calculations, this
and
puts him at
Mario,
the
this
same
transform-
level
Ah.
as Sonic's own reactionary feats. Since Mario was tough enough to
All
take
right.
almost anything Sonic could throw at him, it was only a matter of time before he tagged the blue blur with a deadly blow.
But what about chaos control? Couldn't Sonic just stop time and take care of things? What?
It's heavily implied
So wild!
but Sonic has never actually used the time stop ability in canon. Even then, Mario's stopwatch does the same thing, putting them on equal footing.
Right.
Ah, don't do that. Where's my wallet?
Actually, most of Mario and Sonic's power-ups countered each other in this way. Mario even had plenty of options for defending against Sonic's invincible super forms. But Mario
Yeah,
also
okay,
had
you probably should have did one of those, however.
power-ups, offering multiple ways to overpower Sonic. For example, he could have frozen Sonic solid, or even turned him into gold.
Okay.
His arsenal would
All right.
always
For
outlast
the ice one, he could break out of ice, considering he does it in Mania. So
Oh, I've seen things.
But even then, Mario's durability blew Sonic's out of the water. Even if we assume the 200 kiloton stalactite feat was
comparable to
entirely
Dark Gaia,
Sonic's doing,
Super Sonic
Mario survived an
cannot defeat
explosion
without
that was
aid.
12 times more powerful. Simply put, Sonic didn't have a lot of viable
Sorry, some
options
time
that
here
could
does
take
not
Mario
automatically
down.
put Sonic on over
I always knew
universe
Sonic
levels.
was
Practically since the
impressive, but Mario is just ridiculous. Probably that mustache.
Sonic was obviously incredibly fast, but he couldn't compete with Mario's superior strength, durability, and varied arsenal.
He got Mario'd.
After 100 episodes, you still can't think of a good pun?
No, but now
That may be his thing, but it doesn't mean I still can't point out how bad it is.
check it out, Wiz.
The winner is Mario. Thank you
All
for
right,
watching
I feel like I was
the
earned,
battle episode,
I will
and
say.
props to Blind Ferret for that phenomenal
Good
battle
job on that. And I like the two cutouts in the background. That's neat.
Right over there.
All right, next time. Ultron. Oh, and Sigma. Okay. I didn't know who it was in the beginning. All right. First things first, let's talk about the death battle and then get on to what's coming up next. I like this mostly because I like the fact they brought Wiz and Broomstick out for the first time, and the entire battle was beautifully animated in 2D with vibrant colors and great and even excellent ways of portraying the characters. It was really, really good. The fact that they were fighting over a chair, however, that's has to be one of the top 5 dumbest reasons to have a death battle. But hey, that's still there. Now, of course, you're going to get the comments of, oh, they only had Mario win because they were, Mario fans were still salty about Sonic winning last. You're always going to have people who always will think that way. I, for one, believe that the reasons as to why Mario won were pretty justified in many different ways. The only thing I wish they did was actually did another superpower, like a superpower of invincibility to counter Sonic's supersonic form, because let's say Sonic holds 100 rings in his base. Let's just say, just for clarity's sake. So if you go supersonic or hypersonic, he will be able to last longer than the superstar, because the superstar does not last as long as Sonic would last if he was in hyper or supersonic form. And the fact that he went straight into hypersonic is kind of odd, but it's fine. It's almost as if why bring up supersonic if you already gained the ability to go hyper, right? But whatever. I guess they just want to start at a base and then say, hey, this one can almost move at the speed of light, but when he is hypersonic, he can move faster than light. Which brings into the account. It's like, yes, one of the ways Sonic could win is that circumstances happen to not be on Mario's side, and he doesn't have a superstar just crammed up somewhere, and he uses his hypersonic form. Move faster than light, hit him with a hyper mass punch or whatever, infinite mass punch or whatever, and defeat Mario that way, because that just trumps durability, right? It trumps whatever Mario's durability is right there. But since he had the superstar and pretty much any other means to be invincible, there's also a method here. Just because the things in Mario's verse cannot destroy or beat the invincibility stuff in their verse, does not automatically mean that it trumps every other thing. That's one of my philosophies. It's like, I remember playing Mario, I got a superstar, but then when I jumped in the lava, I died. Clearly lava trumps any other thing, apparently, but whatever. But of course, we have to attribute gameplay logic to real logic that the games and other things have showcased. Now, the thing that I like about this battle, and what I found weird. Okay, first things I liked, and then one thing I found weird. I liked how they wanted to bring up the updated games, the other abilities and other feats that Mario and Sonic have achieved during other games in their franchise. Because I remember, I think the first one was mainly about the general power-ups and abilities they had in their 2D side-scrolling based games. But they gave Mario more abilities that he had when like from his RPG games, he was able to just shoot fire naturally without using a fire flower and so on and so forth. But it is weird how they did not give Sonic his boost, like, at all. And I guess some of you may say he can't have the boost because there's no rings around. Then why not have any rings around? Just as how they put Kirby, in his verse to make sure that he was able to get power-ups to use against fighting Boo. You could have also had it so that Sonic would get rings so he could use his boost. Because that is a liable method. And you're also just giving Mario all these abilities that he has. But apparently I read up on a thing that he could just store items into his glove. So why not have Sonic store rings into his person that's already there? So there's always there's ways to counteract each and every moment as to why Sonic didn't have that many rings. Or rings good enough to do boost. Because in that, the base fight with boost would have been slightly different due to a more unorthodox speed that Mario had to compete with. Now, of course, I'm not saying that this is what was these things. Now, just know these things I'm saying. I'm not saying these things saying if they did this, Sonic would have won. I'm not saying that. Just saying that when it comes to animation, and you know animation's hard, and getting things done within the time frame. Of course, you're gonna have to cut some things, and of course, you're not gonna be able to incorporate everything you have. I mean, they said this multiple times in their Death Battle cast and cast of Death Battle podcasts and stuff like that. So I understand. I'm just pointing it out just for the people who will point it out in some of the comment sections of their videos and even sometimes my videos that I see that some things can skew a few things. Another weird thing would be that. What would happen? Okay, in the first battle, they had their previous rules, and they did this, and they didn't incorporate as many things as they had in the first battle as they did in this battle. And so Sonic won due to not seeing or mentioning Mario's superior durability feats. All right? And that happened. And you have the rematch, where it did do that, and Sonic lost due to the circumstance. Now, what would happen instead, like, we do rematch 3. We do a composite version of Mario and a composite version of Sonic. Who do you think will win that one? Just as a hypothetical, as an own personal fun-related thing for people who actually listen to me talk. Who do you think will win? We're talking like all the video games from Sonic that he's had, all the Archie comics, like composite Sonic, any version of Sonic. They mentioned that Archie Sonic and our Sonic were two different types of Sonic, so we can't really compare them. But what if we did? What if we did say they were the same character? Only in different, they just had different circumstances from different timelines, and they merged together, and they both have the same abilities. All right, Archie Sonic versus all the things Mario has done, even from Mario Party games, because in Mario Party games they have done some crazy-ish, you know, and things from Mario Party. You even give Mario Cappy if you wanted to, like that sort of thing. Composite Mario versus composite Sonic. The only thing that I can see that would be a detriment for Sonic is Cappy, because I don't think Sonic can negate possession, unless something in the Archie comics already showcased that he tried to get possessed and then he just fought out of it. I don't know. Either way, that's my personal thing, and I like this battle. I love the animation. I love the fact we got to see the Wisdom Boomstick, and I do feel like the information given was justified as to the victory of Mario, and not just a way of saying, "Hey guys, I know you didn't like the fact that Mario lost, so we're gonna throw you Nintendo fans a bone and give Mario the win here." That's stupid. Don't think like that. So. Yeah, this was a fine battle. Now, Ultron versus Sigma. Let's talk about that for a little bit before I end things off here. I don't know much about either character. The only thing I know about Ultron is what I've known from the MCU. And I'm pretty sure the MCU version of Ultron is severely weaker than the one in the actual comics. And since, you know, comics is a thing and Mega Man is also a thing, I'm not entirely sure. If I had to think of one, the only thing that I really remember about Ultron is in one of the Avengers cartoons. One of the Avengers cartoons. I don't know if you ever seen like Thanos versus the Avengers in one of the Avengers. I don't know which one, but it is in one of them where they fight Thanos. He uses all the Infinity Stones one at a time, apparently. And each Avenger could counteract that Infinity Stone some way, whether it be Captain America knowing the truth about things so he can negate the Reality Stone. The older an Asgardian gets, the more powerful he gets, so that negates the Time Stone, even though, you know, you could age regress him instead of age progress, whatever. You know, that Thanos was dumb, not compared to the Thanos that we got in the MCU. That's funny. You know, so on and so forth. The angrier Hulk gets, the worse you're gonna make it for yourself. You can channel his anger over to Thanos, so the Mind Stone making people angry isn't gonna work, so on and so forth. But at the end of that, at the end when Thanos is defeated, Ultron comes up, absorbs all the power from the Infinity Stones, and keeps them into his person. Ultron can contain the Infinity Stones. So I don't know if that's like a real, like a real like feat of his power, or that's just exclusively for that Ultron in that particular iteration of the Avengers. But if that's the case, I'm rooting for Ultron. I'm rooting for Ultron. I don't know everything about Sigma. I'm not a Mega Man fan. I don't know everything about Sigma at all. I can probably think that he's relatively empowered, which is why they're doing the battle to begin with. But that feat of being able to contain the Infinity Stones pretty much already make me say, yeah, Ultron's got this. And it's also interesting, I guess I should point this out too, that even though I don't play Marvel vs. Capcom, they did do a storyline revolving around Sigma and Ultron fusing together to make Sigma Ultron, or Sigtron, whatever his name is. So they definitely do share connections with one another to the point where, yeah, I can see why they would want to do a death battle. I also would say that people would want Ultron versus Brainiac, but I don't know things about Brainiac, so I don't. So yeah, this is basically, yeah, this is fine. This was a fine death battle. I found this to be really enjoyable. What did you think about the thing? Did they leave something out that they should have mentioned that would have given Sonic the victory? Because they already showcased that, yes, in other circumstances, Sonic can win. It just 6 times out of 10 or 7 times out of 10, Mario wins the majority of the time, which I'm happy they're bringing up more, because that was one of the main things that I kind of had a problem with, because certain death battles are curb stomps, that being Spyro and Crash, where you have a guy who can destroy you on a molecular level and a guy who can just kick you very hard. You got to go with the guy who can destroy you on a molecular level. Thank you, Spyro. So that's definitely 8 to 9 times out of 10 Spyro wins. But in this case, it seems relatively close. So we have to just deal with that. So this is Do You Want to Be University? You guys next time. Bye.